Hello, how's everybody? I'm just checking to see if this. Yeah, I tried to do this video. It's an ex-Jehovah Witness video, and I tried to do it. I tried to do it earlier. It's, I mean, on this other phone, it doesn't have that much storage, I guess, because it kept getting cut off. So I'm doing it right now. But I'm glad anyway, because I even got to dig deeper than what I was going to do earlier when I started the video. Um, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this off. Um, what I wanted to talk on was enemies, okay? Because I was saying to myself, because we could never get this straight, as far as like, who's the enemy? I mean, I was thinking like, are they enemies, Because at first, when I started developing this YouTube, I was saying to myself, like, the things that happen between the ex-Jehovah Witnesses and the Jehovah Witnesses from an ex-Jehovah Witness standpoint, it's like so brutal, mentally brutal. Like I talk to my friends and things like that. And then I started, and I was gonna do the YouTube on that, how brutal and horrific the pain, things that they do. And then I was saying, then it developed into, well, are they enemies? And I was, like thinking about, how could they be enemies, and if they're enemies. And then I was going on about like, if they needed help, why are the ex-Jehovah Witnesses so entangled in them, that where most of them would say, oh, if they need my help, I'm here. As soon as if they come out of the Jehovah Witness and they need help, I'm there to help them. And I was saying like, well, why in the world do we feel that way, or do they feel that way if they're not going to help you? It's like, somebody does somebody really very wrong, okay? Very, very wrong. And then when it's over and the person survives their torture, it could be in a relationship, it could be in a friendship or whatever. And then after you survive their torture, why does it feel like nothing happened, okay? I mean, maybe it's because, the person gets stronger. And then the other person, because they did wrong and they know that they don't have any way to go, when they like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it was like, like, how can I accept your apology? And I'm just being, I mean, I know you're supposed to accept people's apologies and all this and be nice to them, but I was thinking like, is this possible? I mean, like, should I actually accept this person? This goes beyond turning the other cheek. Excuse me. To me, it's more like stupidity or not being stupid. Am I going to trust this person again? No, I'm not going to trust this person again. Am I going to help this person? I was thinking in the direction of, no, I don't. I don't think that we should help these people. And I wanted to, I mean, I just tell you how I feel, and I was going to do the YouTube like that. But then it got even deeper, and it was like, well, okay, like, well, then what is the problem? I mean, like, I still didn't come up with an answer, but the last YouTube, when I started seeing things, the picture, the whole big picture, and I came up with, or I'm sure, I pray all the time. I'm sure God helped me with it. And it was like, let's look at the whole big picture. Okay, what's going on here? And we talked about this over, and we keep developing it into this understanding of what's actually happening. And then I saw it as I would see other things in like for instance, since it is an organization, or it is like, one of my friends would always say, how would she say it? She would go, what's the word that she put it in? Okay, I forgot, but anyway, like a corporation or whatever. So then I was thinking like, okay, so let's deal with it and let's see it. And then I saw a third party. Because every time I try to touch into or go into the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society or the, how can I say, not the elders, but the governing body, it's nowhere. It's like I've been stressing, it's nothing there. But then, of course, we came to the conclusion that there is a third party, but we don't know what it is, but now we can call it a third party. So then that is what developed into this YouTube, saying, okay, wait, because as I was saying in the other YouTube about the third party, is the fact that the third party is in, okay, I know people don't want to be controlled and they don't want to say like they have any attachment to the third, of course they don't have any attachment to the governing body or to the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, but we already came to the conclusion that they're not the leaders, so we're going to call it the third party. Okay, even though we know we may know exactly who that is or what that is, but we can say third party for sure, 100%. Okay, so now it's a third party. So then I felt better because then I didn't have to draw the conclusion that they are enemies, because I really felt like they're enemies, and that and I was going to go in the direction of, if anybody comes out and they needed our help or my help, I would say no. So let's just say they're enemies. So the third party actually made me see that it's not that my energy or my bad energy can't be reflected to the Jehovah Witnesses in a sense. Okay, so now we got the third party, and I was thinking, so now I'm thinking it's like, well, this third party is so great, and I said it's very powerful, because before I get to this type of enemy that we're talking about, I had to see exactly what was going on and how things worked or how they're working. So I was thinking that how I had to reflect on myself as a Jehovah Witness, and how I can't view my, and I'm sure you can't either, ex-Jehovah Witnesses, your family, and I'm not saying the family, I'm saying the things that happen between you and your family as enemies. So now I can go two ways. This way I'm going to go is that I'm going to show you how I can't view my brothers and sisters as total enemies. But we're going to talk about, but I instead termed them as emotional enemies, okay? And the enemy being the third party, because we have enemies, okay? So I'm going to view them as the enemy, and my family right now as emotional enemies. So how did I come up with that and not full force enemies? Because, okay, like I was thinking about my brother, the one that to me is the furthest away from a relationship, and because I haven't talked to him, I started not talking to him, or we have stopped our relationship as brothers. I mean, active brothers and sisters, blood brothers and sisters, in the 80s. Because before I got married, I remember we drifted apart. But before that, the last thing that I can remember as far as us being together is one time he invited me, and I don't know why, but he invited me to, because everything has cliques in the organization. You have a lot of cliques. My brother was in a clique, and I was pretty much in 2 or 3 different cliques, okay? But I always have more than one clique. But he was in this like powerful clique, and it was like the affluent clique, you know? They were affluent, they were very intelligent, they all had good jobs, they all were gonna make good money. So one time he invited me to, I don't know why, he just said, well, come with me to this, you know, where they always meet together, okay? It was like a get together that they always have, but it wasn't like a get together, it was like when you have a clique and you meet all the time these certain people. So it's at a house or something. So it was at a house, it was a very nice house. They all had nice houses, they all had they were just the affluent, I would say. Affluent clique. And I walked in, of course I didn't feel really, really comfortable. I mean, and he was there, my brother was there. And he wanted me to be there. And I knew everybody was there. I knew everybody that was there because they were in the congregation and some people from other congregations, but I knew them all. And we like watched TV. We were in one room. Some people were on the bed or whatever. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it because of him, but it wasn't like me, you know what I mean? So that was pretty much the last times, around that time was the last time I was. Then after that, I think we were drawing further apart, you know what I mean? But before that, as far as my brother is concerned, my full brother, blood brother, we never got into an argument. With my brother, we never got into an argument. We would go out, this is how it would be, because we were the last. I was younger and he was the youngest, okay? Of the family, we two were the youngest. And sometimes, because I had a stepfather and my mother, we would go places because we were still the youngest. We weren't like over 18 or anything. But I remember that time how we were together. And I'm showing you this because I'm showing you how he cannot be viewed as a total enemy. And I'm also going to show you how the third party affected my relationship with my brother and my brothers and sisters, all of them. So I remember, like I said, we never argued, never. If we had a disagreement, we would talk it out. Oh, it would be like, okay, I'm just going to use his name, I'm sorry, everybody's old, it's already finished, I swear. So anyway, if I say his name, because I feel like, I never say his name, so I'm going to say his name. But anyway, it was Gregory, and when we would talk to each other, it was always very highly mature. I mean, even though we were kids, and we would go with our parents everywhere, sometimes, you know, different places, because my stepfather was an overseer, and we would go to these different places. And I'll tell you, one time we went to see my stepfather's mother. And we went there and we stayed in a hotel. And we would say, oh, can we go downstairs? It would be just like this. It was like a storybook, I swear. I don't know how in the world we were like this. Can we go downstairs and get hot chocolate? And we were like really young. Can we go downstairs and get a hot chocolate? You know, and we'll wait for you all to get ready. And they go, oh yeah, just go down to the place. So we would go down to the very well mannered. My mother taught us very good manners. And we would go to the restaurant in the hotel, and we'd get a hot chocolate, and we would talk like just enjoying each other without any arguments or anything, just totally getting along. And then when we would go to the pool, we would just be like very, very, as far as between each other, we were very highly, we just got along together. It was like so strange. And I know that stemmed from my father, okay? Because my father, he wasn't a Jehovah Witness, but we would have meetings in the house every so often, like family meetings. And I think we got that from we would always talk things out. So I think we got that from our father, our real father. So that's how we were. We never argued. As we grew older, I remember, and we were the only ones in the house. We had our separate bedrooms, but I would be sleeping sometime. It would be like 11 o'clock and I'd be sleeping in bed, and my brother would come in and he would sit on the floor, not turn on lights or anything, and he would make updates. He would update about the things that are going on in his life, okay? And then he would go. So I follow his cue, and I would come into his room and then make updates. And he was very blunt. He was very blunt, and he would tell me if I was bothering him, or he was just like that. So I wouldn't tell him though, but I know that he would tell me. And I would go in his room and I would give him updates, and he would listen, and then I would go in my room. I mean, go back to my room or whatever, but it was just like that. It was very, very mature, even though we were like kids, you know. So that's how my brother was. So now I want to show you how the third party actually, even though we were that close and everything, it molded the way that we treated our family members, okay? So our family members, like I was telling you about my brother, although we were that close, there's things that I knew that I couldn't talk to him about. Whereas if we weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, I would have opened more up about who I was and what I wanted to do, okay? But there's a lot of things that I wanted to do that I would have expressed to him if we weren't Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'm showing you that a certain part of that's not being able to do that to my blood brother was a certain reason for now me seeing that this third party is an enemy, okay? Because they stopped that. And my brother, because we were so open with each other in the ways that we could be open as a Jehovah's Witness, and he would tell me some things. His was really, really, he would tell me a little bit more, I don't know if it was more or whatever, but like I said, he was more blunt, okay? Not in a bad way, he was just blunt, okay? But like I said, we were very, very well-mannered with each other. And I'm almost sure we got it from my father. So he would tell me things, but if it wasn't for the third party, I would have known more. And he told me more because everybody in my family, they would tell me more things. Because even my sister said she would tell me things because I never had any reaction. Like, oh, I can't believe this. So I'm almost sure my brother told me more. But I'm sure he would have told me even more, but it's a stop there. So they hindered our real blood brotherness, okay? So that's another point that I'm showing, that I can't view the things that happen between my brother and I as enemies. But now I can call it an emotional enemy. So I totally defined emotional enemies. I could go through it with each one of my family. One thing that's nice about having a big family, our family, is that because of the way my mother treated us all, I don't know if other people's mothers did this, but everybody was treated differently according to how they were. And because it wasn't an academic family, we didn't talk about the same things, so that even made it bigger. So that means everybody in our family was totally individual, and we treated each person in our family differently. The way I would treat my sister Annie would be totally different from the way I would treat Ronnie, from the way I would treat Juanita, the way I would treat Gregory, the way I would treat Lynette. Each one of us treated each other totally differently and had different stories about each other, okay? And what I'm saying is that was affected by the third party. Now I can say third party, and I'm so happy that we could find third party, because everything that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society does is an illusion. Everything the governing body does is an illusion, okay? However, the Jehovah Witnesses think it's concrete, and they made it concrete, which brings another point to my mind is, should I put that point out now? Yes, what I want to stress is that another reason why I'm making them just an emotional enemy is that they don't have the qualities of the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. They're missing a lot of qualities that we as ex-Jehovah Witnesses can strengthen when we leave the organization, okay? So we can strengthen all of those things that we were missing as an ex-Jehovah Witness. So we would see them more as as an emotional enemy, to whereas they can't, most likely, I'm almost sure because I was Jehovah's Witness, they cannot see us as an emotional enemy. Why? Because they're missing a lot of things, a lot of talents that they have that the third party controls. So they have no idea of the things that we're going through. They have no idea of the strength that we have that they don't have. But the third party understands. The second party, which is the Jehovah Witnesses, and the third party, which are the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. The can I say the first party? Yeah, the first party now. The first party. If I said third party, it's wrong. The first party is the party that controls the Jehovah Witness, that controls the governing body and the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. So you know that's the first party I'm talking about. I'm sorry. So, but what I'm trying to say, the first party knows the limits of the ex-Jehovah Witnesses and the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. Now, why are we still considered Jehovah Witnesses? Not Jehovah Witnesses, but ex-Jehovah Witnesses. They don't say ex-Jehovah Witnesses, I'm almost positive, but they give us a term, okay? And that term still connects us to the Jehovah Witnesses. So we have to be still under their control in some sense, because we just can't go in and talk to our family. We're connected to them. Why do they have to control us through like disfellowship and all these rules and stuff? They have to, because they know, the third party knows. I mean, not the third party, the first party. We're the third party, ex-Jehovah Witnesses, because the first party knows how powerful we can become and will become, and we are, okay? So they control that, okay, through the process of how they set this whole thing up, okay? So, which makes them to us, the party one is to us should be, or to me, I'm just stressing it to you, maybe you believe it too, are the total enemies, are the enemies, where the enemy lines come from. The second party, which are the Jehovah Witnesses, are an emotional enemy. The reason why I say the emotional enemy, because I showed you just how, to me, I cannot term them because I still have feelings about the things that happened in my life, the things that we went through. I can't kill those memories because they're good memories. It wasn't the way, it wasn't natural the way, how the further, I mean the distance that we have from each other because of the first party. So I can term them as emotional enemies. Now, why are they emotional enemies to us? Because we can't think freely about them. Everything that we do is denied by them. No matter what we do, it's denied by them. If we spoke a sentence to them, it would be denied. We can't go to them and explain to them, this is not right, this is not, this is right, this is not really. They will go totally opposite to what we're doing. And I was thinking too, is my whole my whole YouTube, everything that I do is totally opposite to what they believe. And I just entered the American Yoga from Dance Without Music, which that everything that I do, especially the yoga and everything, is totally contradictory to everything that they do. So I can't relate anything to them. I can't say anything. So because of that, it's like an enemy. They're an emotional enemy to me. Okay? Because I always have to consider that also, is that they're not going to appreciate anything I do. They don't do this, they don't do this, they don't do that. They don't help me with this, they don't help me with that. They're enemies. So they're emotional enemies to me. And I'm glad they're emotional enemies because it makes me see where the whole enemy thing comes in, okay? My whole negative power comes in, okay? Because you have enemies, you know what I mean? So now, and they're enemies because they're enemies with God. So I'm not going to go there yet. So are they enemies to me? On their perspective, am I their enemy? Yes, I'm their enemy. But would they see that? No, they're not going to see that. Because I was a Jehovah Witness. And a lot of functions that we do normally, they don't have. And I remember when somebody was disfellowship, you just cut. Okay? And I'm saying this, I would call it more like a zombie. Okay? And I kept thinking about what these people, when I talk to them, as far as my brothers and sisters, and their reaction to everything, the only thing I could think of is they're like a zombie. You know what I mean? The way they talk and everything. So what I'm trying to say is they don't see, they don't see what they're doing. They don't see that they're, because I didn't see, I'm not talking about like my brothers and sisters because I was really affected when they left the truth, but I'm talking about when friends or somebody would get disfellowship. I just don't even think about it. It was just like, forget it. It wasn't there. It's just like when I said, when the people will come into the organization and stand up and say, hey, they're lying. We will call them the evil slave class. Did I have any opinion to them? No, it wasn't there. There was no information, nothing. So what I'm saying is, I can say, I don't know if everybody believes me, but generally speaking, from my standpoint, their perspective, they don't see us. I guess they can see us as enemies, but I don't think they see exactly what they're doing. So I don't know 100%, do they see us as enemies? No, I don't think that, because they don't have a lot of functions that we have normally. But I can say clearly as an ex-Jehovah Witnesses that they are emotional enemies, okay? Like I tell a lot of my friends, I said, I want to talk to my sister, Lynette. No, I don't talk to her. Why? It's because I gave her a text message. This is an emotional enemy. I gave her a text message and say, hi, Lynette, how are you doing? How's everything? I'm using the name because everybody's old. Everybody's 60, something 60, forget it. So anyway, I say, Lynette, hi, how are you doing? And 2 weeks later, she would just write, hi. So I just lost her address. That's, to me, that tension is called an emotional enemy. And I'm glad I came up with that, because now I can see the effect of it. I can see where the lines are drawn. I can see that it's nothing physical. I'm happy for that. When I say physical, it's not nothing that I could get riled up or physical to make myself stressed out about, because it's something mental. So I have to deal with it mentally. So that's what I have for now. And that's why I wanted to clear up this, or make a term for this relationship that we have with the Jehovah Witnesses. So, and I needed something for the friends and everything that I had in my Jehovah Witness life. And I can't down any of those beautiful relationships that I have, but I know the relationships now were controlled or hindered by the first party. So I can see that. But now I can think freely about nice things that happened to me. Like, I don't want to kill the memories of the times I had with my brothers and sisters, with my real brothers and sisters, my blood brothers and sisters. But now I can see them now. So I have a cutoff to where I can see them now, that they're emotional enemies. And that's as far as I went right now with this emotional energy. With this emotional enemy thing. And I hope it strengthens me, because it organizes things better. Now, as far as, like I said, as far as, which I'm working on still, getting this first party figured out, how do we, because it has to come to a point as ex-Jehovah Witnesses, a conclusion or a goal. And our goal is to bring down, our goal is to bring down, its ultimate goal is to bring down the third party. The reason why I'm laughing, because it's a big deal, but it's just, that's what it is, you know what I mean? And in order to bring down the third party, we need somebody, which God will give us the strength, for somebody who can go up and face the third party. Like I said, it's hard to face the third party, because a lot of people who are up there, I'm gonna say Selena Williams, even Michael Jackson was up there. There's a lot of people that were up there that couldn't face the third party. And you could pretty much see how strong the third party is. Because I'm just going to use an example, but it has nothing to do with anything. This is just an example. Like, for instance, Kanye West, when he had his fear, he said one time that you can't talk, you can't say anything. So there's a lot of people that can help us, and I'm just talking about the ex-Jehovah Witness and the Jehovah Witness situation. That's all I'm talking about. But when you get to that point, and we need somebody up there, and I'm sure God is going to arrange it to where there's going to be somebody up there that's going to help us. And that's why we have to keep strengthening ourselves, because we're showing those people who do make it up there that we could use some help, you know what I mean? But there's one thing, it's like Kanye West, he was saying, is that you can't say anything. You can become this, you can become that, but you can't say anything. So it's a different world up there. We're going to make it. So here it goes. That's all it is this one is going to be about the emotional enemy being the Jehovah Witness, ex-Jehovah Witness as emotional enemy. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Hang in there. We keep going forward. Thanks.